In this video we are going to talk about everything about champagne, so before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. The popping of a champagne plug is perhaps of the most euphoric and unmistakable sound on the planet. In any case, not a drink should exclusively be saved for extraordinary events. Before you investigate the brilliant universe of champagne, get to know a couple of key realities ahead of time. Maybe you definitely know these, however, at that point once more, perhaps you'll discover some new information. 1. Champagne is a wine. It seems as though say what shouldn't need to be said, however frequently champagne is viewed as an altogether different substance to in any case wines. For sure, champagne is produced using aged grapes following comparative development methods as different wines. Notwithstanding, champagne is remarkable in that it should follow one-of-a-kind methods to get its air pockets. Severe rules, really long by the nickname, alongside profoundly defensive formally controlled assignment of beginning, guarantee that champagne's character is shielded from corner cutting. 2. It's made only in Champagne, France. Different vintage Baron Albert champagne bottles. Naturally, many know about the way that champagne comes from France. Be that as it may, for certain years champagne battled with other shimmering wines, which would utilize its name and distinction to sell their own. Champagne comes explicitly from a locale of a similar name in northeastern France east of Paris. Notwithstanding, the wine-delivering locale interwoven designs it and into other adjoining areas as well. Altogether, to separate the two, the refreshment takes the manly in the French language, whereas the actual locale is ladylike. The previously mentioned appellation guarantees that a shimmering wine must be called champagne, assuming it's made inside this severe 35,000 hectare locale. 3. It's made with both black and white grapes. Ready Champagne Pinot Meunier grapes on vine. The Champagne locale has been making white wine from red grapes since the Middle Ages. This was initially finished at the level of their severe competition with their Burgundian neighbors. Burgundy reds were wealthy in variety, while Champagne's endeavors were much of the time more fragile or even pink. At the point when Dom Perignon went onto the scene during the 16th century, he, in this manner, worked on these methods. To clarify white wine from dark grapes, they were squeezed rapidly and tenderly to keep the skins from macerating with the juice. Generally speaking, champagne is made with 3 significant grapes. The most renowned dark grape is Pinot Noir, which is additionally utilized in Burgundy. Nonetheless, they likewise utilize another dark grape called Pinot Meunier as well as a white grape, Chardonnay. Peruse more about these with our Champagne Grape Guide. 4. It's blended, most of the time. Beyond France, it's very normal for the grape to be referenced on a mark previously or rather than the locale. This is particularly commonplace with New World wines. Albeit many French wines have adjusted to this inclination, the district has consistently started things out as it is a more grounded mark of a wine's character. Nonetheless, once in a while the grape isn't referenced in light of the fact that it includes multiple. For instance, in Bordeaux, they blend Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot and Cabernet Franc among others. Also, numerous champagnes mix their grapes as referenced in the part above to create novel flavors. Notwithstanding, dissimilar to some other wine, they even mix the years. A mix of champagne can include up to 30 to 50 harvests from various towns, grapes, and vintages. This is attempted to guarantee that each time you open that house's champagne, it will undeniably taste something similar. 5. Champagne is fermented twice. Dissimilar to Prosecco and some cavas, champagne goes through serious periods of maturation and maturing. Where Prosecco never leaves the treated steel, compressed autoclave tank until packaged available to be purchased, champagne invests a large portion of its energy maturing in a container. The grapes are matured in tanks or containers just after the press until no sugar is left. Following that, the still wine is then packaged with a blend of yeast and sugar, which is fixed with a lager cap. While it ages in the jug, the sugar and yeast artificially respond and deliver gas, which makes the fizz. Champagnes will mature somewhere around a year like this, yet go through different methods to guarantee they age appropriately. Be that as it may, some will sit for far longer before they come around. 6. You can drink it straight away. A few wines can mature for a really long time subsequent to being packaged. Many will sit in the basements of shippers and authorities for quite a long time prior to being opened. During this time, they amass intricacy and worth. Notwithstanding, in Champagne they do it another way. All things considered, champagne will stay in the house's basement, fixed with a container cap, until matured flawlessly. Just when they consider it prepared will the houses discharge their wines available to be purchased. At the point when the opportunity arrives, the cap is eliminated and it is plugged. Albeit a few lovers like to mature their champagnes in the wake of stopping, you don't need to. On the off chance that you have a jug, why stand by and deny yourself of the delight? Simply make sure to serve the champagne appropriately and at the right temperature. It tends to be diet-friendly. For the most part, drinking fine cocktails is a horrible when on a tight eating routine. In this manner, isn't it magnificent, then, at that point, that a few champagnes contain no sugar? Besides, dissimilar to Diet Coke, it's 100% normal and fairly more refined. 8. It was discovered by accident. Dom Perignon Statue Champagne Bespoke Unit. Despite two famous yet contradicting convictions, shining wine wasn't created by Benedictine monk Dom Perignon, nor English researcher Christopher Marett. In any case, the two of them contributed significantly to trim champagne into what it is today. Truly, the peculiarity of shimmering wine was found by accident during the medieval times in the St. Hilaire Abbey. Other Benedictine priests close to Carcassonne before long started to understand that wine packaged in the wake of maturing in oak containers in some cases created bubbles. 9. The British love champagne. For sure, the French traded a record-breaking 34 million jugs to the UK in 2015. Beside the French, who purchased 162 million containers themselves, the British beverage more champagne than some other country. Besides, probably the most lofty champagne houses have a royal warrant conceded by the British royal family. Krug, Bollinger and Moët and Chandon are maybe the most well-known. In any case, the honor likewise has a place with G.H. Mumm, Laurent Perrier, Pol Roger, Veuve Clicquot and Lanson. 10. It's not always expensive. The significant houses might rule the market and product the most for utilization abroad. Nonetheless, among the 320 authority champagne towns, there are 300 significant champagne houses as well as 15,800 makers behind them. Unquestionably, such colossal numbers intends that there are some generally secret and dark champagnes out there holding back to be discovered. Furthermore, with their brands not having yet experienced acclaim, they can be unimaginably modest. For instance, great containers can bring for just €15, $18, while one-of-a-kind champagnes can be seen as great for you. What makes champagne so exceptional? It is the most renowned shining wine on the planet, made exclusively from grapes developed on the white soils in Champagne, the most northerly of France's wine districts, about an hour's drive east of Paris. Just 3 grape assortments are allowed: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier. Inquisitively, for a wine that is white, it is really made predominantly from dark grapes, but there is least contact between the skin and the juice. To create champagne's novel air pockets, the wine goes through an optional maturation process in the container. This is finished just barely of yeast and sugar. The carbon dioxide delivered during this subsequent aging become caught inside the container and make the shining or carbonated impact. Each piece of the technique is work escalated, all of which adds to the expense of making shining wine along these lines. What do you think about this video? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.